So it's that time of the year again where we get to do our season previews, and every season we be pleasing. It's Team BakaMeltingJelly with Animelting and BakaShift. It nearly called you BakaJelly.
BakaJelly. That's my new name. I'm breaching your trademark.
So if you guys want to say hello.
Hello.
Ohayo gozainan.
I'll do. Before we start, there is a first video to this over on BakaShift's channel, so if you click wherever the annotation is on the screen, it'll take you over to his channel and you can catch up on some of the stuff that we aren't going to mention again, because that'd be stupid. So, there's also going to be another video tomorrow, but we'll talk about that at the end. Cool? Okay, let's talk about anime.
Why would we want to do that? Anime's rubbish.
I hate my friends. My friends are crap.
Is that the worst segue ever?
Speaking of friends being big crap, we're going to talk about Hitsugi no Chiyaka.
Yes.
The segue.
It was indeed a segue.
I don't have my bones so hype. Hold on, I'm going to make a new sign.
You just doing that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
You talk about this while I do this.
Abby, you need to introduce this because you're the bones lady.
I did. Now you can talk about it.
You said its name.
Exactly.
Do you want me to
Okay.
do a
Yeah,
thing?
go for it.
Alright. I hope I got the right one. Toru Akura, an incredibly lazy man with some hidden talents, has been forced by his sister Akari to actually go outside and search for work. And he encounters troubles, I imagine.
He gets attacked by a monster and a silver-haired girl. And it's by bones.
It is
and
by
bones are on form. They are on point this
I
year.
will say...
Because it's the 15th anniversary.
I don't know why they're being so good lately. Last season they were incredible. I've got really high hopes for them this season as well. But I don't like the sound of this show too much.
It doesn't sound like as interesting a premise as obviously Captain Earth or as Noragami was.
Yeah.
But I've still got faith that it's going to be good. Because, I mean, it's the same light novel writer as Outbreak Company. And that was banging.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, the light novel this is based on was written by the person who did Outbreak Company.
Alright, never mind.
And Scrap Princess. I haven't seen Scrap Princess, but Scrap Princess is meant to be amazing.
I've heard the same thing.
And same director as Scrap Princess as well.
But the writer...
Which was Scrap Princess being a very early Bone show.
The writer did Lucky Star, IMAS, and Amnesia. If you watch the first part of this video, you'll know not many people in this video like Amnesia. And by not many, I don't think anyone does.
But if you watch all of Abby's videos, you'll know she really likes Lucky Star.
Yeah, man.
That's true. I do like it.
But the thing is about this, even though the synopsis, it doesn't sound all that amazing. But I think it's going to be good anyway. Because like, I just have so much faith in Bones now. They've just been like... Last year, they released just...
The second
What's
half
his
of
face?
Blast of Tempest, wasn't it?
Yeah, Blast of Tempest, there we go. That's what I was searching for in my brain. And this year, it's just like, yeah, let's go for 5 shows airing at once. And the thing we're worried about...
Noragami's finishing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Space Dandy's finishing or not.
Yeah, I don't...
think
It
so.
seems like Space Dandy's going to carry on. It should do, really. But, I mean, we were worried last season that, Noragami was going to be overshadowed by how important Space Dandy was and falling quality, and that just was not the case, because Noragami's, like, fucking amazing. And this is obviously the least high profile of all the Bone shows this season, with Captain Earth being kind of their major one, and then Soul Eater being Soul Eater.
Yeah.
Stay
But
tuned.
I still think this is going to get all of everything it needs to be good.
I'm still going to watch it, even if I don't really like the sound of the premise, because it's Bones, and that's my thing. I just watch Bones shows, so...
Because they have given us reason to believe in them.
And
I'm
on
very
the topic
excited
of
about what they have coming up. But that's a very good segue, because on the topic of Bones, we're going to talk about another Bone show called Captain Earth. Not Captain Planet, like I keep calling it.
Or Planet Earth.
You can't search for this without getting a Captain Planet. Like, did you mean Captain Planet?
And this one is just no point even talking about it. This one's going to be really rubbish.
Ha!
This one's going to be terrible.
No, right,
like...
I'm starting this discussion, right? The writer did Star Driver. The director did Star Driver. It's going to be like a gritty Star Driver by the looks of things. I'm okay with that.
It's Yoji and Aikido did Utena.
No, I don't care. They did
He
Star
did
Driver.
Utena.
Utena.
They did
Yoji
around High School
Aikido
Host
is
Club as well.
a genius.
Around High School Host Club.
A
And that show
genius.
is awesome. And Alan hasn't watched it yet, so I need to
Really?
lend him my DVDs or something.
Like
And
the
you haven't
only
watched
one.
Utena yet?
True.
You watched the first episode of Utena?
I've watched every single one of these: Utena, Redline, Star Driver, and Iran, and it's going to be fucking brilliant. Like
Yep.
that is the
good.
only
Yeah, Yoji
conclusion.
Aikido is absolutely incredible. I mean, I
I
think some
wasn't
people.
that big on Redline, but Redline wasn't supposed to be a big story thing, so I can sort of
No.
forgive it.
Yeah, Redline story definitely took a back seat of that car.
Ha, ha,
Fucking
ha.
brilliant.
Um,
I don't think I
Redline
could
was
see
still godlike,
colours
though.
after watching Redline anymore. Just
Yeah,
I
like
just-
do wonder though if Captain Earth is going to be.
I saw. I could hear you thinking about what you were going to
I
say
was
after
thinking
Captain.
planet because I was thinking it's not
Captain.
Earth, so it must be planet. Captain Earth. It looks a little bit more grey than pretty much all of those shows that I mentioned there.
Well, that's
And I don't
how it's
know
gonna
that
start.
I like that idea too much, but
Well, yeah,
I didn't
Yoji
think I'd like Star
Aikido
Driver,
knows
and then
series.
Things are going to start really grey, but then Captain Earth's going to
I
bring.
think this one's going to be
pollution down to
significantly
zero.
more popular than Star Driver was. Because I mean, while Star Driver is one of your favourite series of all time, it's not really a show with a hideous amount of acclaim.
No.
And of all of Yoji and Aikido's works, it's easily the one that most people would deem to be the worst.
to be fair though, I have met a lot of people who have watched Star Driver, and only one of them didn't like it.
Oh yeah, people
So
like
people
it.
like
Very,
Star Driver.
I do really enjoy Star Driver. But
Star
of what I've
Driver.
seen of Yoji and Aikido's works, I still consider it to be his weakest.
No,
I
Star
hope Captain
Driver.
Earth
I
has its own
disagree.
interlude sound. It's like Captain Earth.
But either way, this is like, I mean, you're watching this because it's Bones and because it's like relevant to Star Driver. I'm watching this because I am a fucking ridiculous massive mecha fan, and and Bones throughout the years have always delivered on mecha series.
Yeah.
From Razafon to Eureka 7 to Star Driver, everything they've done has been good on some level that I have seen from them in mecha. And this is just their next big thing, and it looks incredible. The PVs make it look incredible.
Yes.
The mech designs are out of this world, out of this earth.
Ha!
And it just looks so irresponsibly good,
Mm.
and I just can't wait. I really can't wait. If there is a show this season I have undivided
Belief in.
what am I looking, faith in, is this one. I cannot see
but
this
I would
failing.
like to bring up last season, where you said
Mm.
Nobunaga the Fool is going to be real good, guys.
Yeah, I did, but I was still skeptical about Nobunaga the Fool because the only thing going for it was Shoji Kawamori. There was nothing else on the line for Nobunaga the Fool.
Had a really cool thumbnail.
Yeah, nothing else
You
other
were all
than.
excited about, is it going to be super robot or is it going to be real robot? I don't know. I'm so excited because it's super robot.
Look, I was really excited for Nobunaga the Fool, and then it didn't really matter what it fell into because it was shit. And I'm happy to admit that I was wrong about that.
And hopefully
But-
you're not wrong about Captain Earth.
But Shoji Kawamori, I love that guy. He's done some incredible things, but he hasn't been like 100% consistent throughout his career, this being an obvious sign of that. But Yoji and Aikido has. And Bones are they are the studio to be right now. Bones are, without a doubt, honestly, currently the big studio to look out for. They are the studio with the money. They are the studio producing not just quality, but consistent quality. Like, they haven't made anything bad in a long time now.
That
Yeah.
makes me so happy. Like, so happy.
Because if, like, this... I think this, honestly, because, like, most people, when you talk about Bones, you think, like, yeah, remember back in Bones' early days and all of these amazing series from their roots, from the Full Metal Alchemist, the Wolverines, the Razafons, and people are just like, yeah, we want Bones to return to how they were, because they have been through periods of, like, where they've done, like, atrocious sequels, like Eureka 7 AO, and just stuff that really didn't hit the mark. But it seems like they are back on point. They are back to where Bones should be.
Yeah.
And if this is anything even close to what I want it to be,
It'll be good.
Captain Earth, Saipodase.
Shall we move on?
No, that's the end of the video. See you later, guys. Do-do-do-do.
I was doing the BakaShift salute then. I did it wrong. Okay.
Have I trademarked that salute now?
Yeah.
See you next week. No, you won't. Every time he says "see you next week," you never will.
Yeah, that's the joke. It's clever.
May or may not see you next week. You won't.
Shut up, man.
Let's
How dare
move
you
on
insult my
from
thing?
insulting BakaShift and his inconsistency in YouTube to Cydonia No Cushi.
Yeah.
Pat, you were the one who initially put this on the list. What was your reasoning? Because I've got some reasons why I'm pretty hyped about this.
Well, originally it was just because the thumbnail. Once again, thumbnail always grabs me. I always judge things
Always
by the
thumbnail.
cover. Apparently, you shouldn't judge
Pat is
things
very
by
much
the
a
cover.
judge books by the cover person.
But yeah, it just that, and it was Cydonia No Cushi, and I don't know. Everything about it really sticks out to me for no particular reason. Like it's got aliens, it's got
Yeah.
strange ship, it's got people
Basically,
in seeds.
this-
It looks really good.
This to me seems like it is just a really classic mecha series.
Yeah.
I mean, for some reason on any chart doesn't have mecha listed in its genres, but they do talk about people being in robots. And the other promo image, not the one on any
I'm
chart,
not sure if that
elsewhere,
just
has
hints.
shows the design of the mecha. It looks really cool, and it's basically just a classic tale of a bunch of bros in space and robots punching aliens. It's just that's such a classic thing. It's like it's Gunbuster, it's Tekkaman, all over again, and that's just a fun thing to watch.
I want to talk about the writer real brief.
I
So this guy, or girl, has done 3 notable things. I'm assuming it's a guy. He's done 3 super notable things, in my opinion. First being Cowboy Bebop, which everyone should know about. Second being Natsume Yujinchou, which is a show that I absolutely love, and is so good.
rightly so.
So how do you feel about the last one?
Third one, Kino no Tabi, The Beautiful World. My favourite show of all time. I'm watching it.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
watching this.
The only thing that throws me off about this is I'm pretty sure it's 100% CG.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows, so it's like Freedom and Arpeggio Blue Steel, which is fine if the story is good. But Arpeggio Blue Steel took me a while to get into, just because I have a major problem with CGI.
Yes.
And
yes,
it's so hard for me to get into CGI series, because I don't know, it just looks so janky and wrong most of the time. It's so kind of static and warble. But once you get past that, and once I got past that with Arpeggio Blue Steel, I was able to really enjoy that series because it was great fun.
Yeah.
Like, it was about boat girls. It was a precursor to what is going to be the wonderful Kantai collection this year. That I can't wait
That's
for.
next season, right?
Yeah, it's going to be great. And you hear us talking about that in fucking
12
fair
weeks.
few months' time.
In 12 weeks, you will hear us talking about Kantai collection. So
Yeah, can't wait. But this, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. It sounds like it's just going to be a simple and fun robots punching aliens. I just hope the CGI doesn't put me off. Closing statement. BakaShift 2014. Quote me on that.
can I say the closing statement should be the director has done bad things or
Yep.
nothing.
They've done bad things.
Detective Conan movies 1 to 18, 15 to 18, and Samurai
And,
Girls.
and this pile of shit here. I'm showing my Samurai Girls Blu-ray for you two who can't see me. Cost me a tenner. And that was a tenner not well spent.
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Does someone else want to introduce this? Because I'm not even going to pretend that I can read it.
You can't read Fun Ishindai Shogun.
Yep.
Is this the one I put on the list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you did, because I kind of glossed over it thinking, oh, it's Nobunaga the Fool again, but not by Shoji Kawamori. And then I read up who's involved, and now I'm like 100% hype.
Basically, what they did is they went over history and they decided Edo period, very popular period in anime. They wanted to put mechs in it, and so that's what they've done.
And that would have seemed like an interesting and new thing if it wasn't for a certain show airing this season that we have mentioned twice now. and Nobunaga the Fool isn't good anime, even though it does have Mamo in it, and it does have
Mamo
these
in it. And it has
these
some
weird
very, very pretty boys in it too, but it's still
Yeah.
not good. That's how bad it is.
and it's even got these weird alien ride-on things
That make horse
make
sounds.
horse noises,
Those are the best things.
and it's brilliant. But the reason this is cool, and first of all, it's JC Staff doing a mecha series, which is weird. But JC Staff have really kind of proven their worth recently, and I mean, on it, JC Staff are most commonly known for their slice of life stuff like Toradora and all that. But with Index and Railgun, they really have pulled it out of the bag with action series. And what's it called this season? Witchcraft Works.
Yeah.
Ain't bad. I'm alright with that series. But the big thing with this is it's being written by Daisato.
Eureka
Guided
7.
Eureka 7
Yeah.
and Ergo Proxy, and the guy is my dude who I would shake his hand and be like, thanks for being cool. So that's what gives me hope for this series, even though the whole concept of Edo period mecha does not sound like it will be good to me.
Yeah, well, it's been done badly. Hopefully this can breathe life back into it. I'm surprised you stopped at shaking his hand.
And then they got married.
In public, I would happily become Daisato no husbando.
Okay.
Just like,
That's everything anyone wanted to say about that, apart from it looks like a better version, possibly, of Nobunaga the Fool.
yeah, other than the fact that it's ecchi as well, which seems a bit odd. It's just gonna kind of make it even more questionable. Everything about this, I look at it and I go, man, that doesn't sound good at all. But it's just, let's Daisato. Surely it's gonna be good. Surely. I said this before with Shoji Kawamori, so I'm not gonna be like, this is definitely gonna be good because it's Daisato. Just like I said, this is definitely gonna be good because it's Shoji Kawamori.
But
so this isn't the one. This isn't the one of the season for you then.
No, this is not Captain Earth, or Captain Planet, or Planet Earth.
It's not Captain
or
Earth.
Broken Blade.
And it's also no game and no life. That was a horrible segue. I was trying really
That's
hard.
Pat, you are a genius.
It ain't
No game, no life.
No life. Which
Pat,
is the next show on the
my
list.
hat, if I were to be wearing one, would be tipped off in your direction for the glory of that segue.
That means a lot.
Okay, let's go and talk about No Game, No Life by Madhouse.
Yes.
Fun.
Okay,
Word.
the story of No Game No Life centers around Sora and Shiro, a brother and sister whose reputation as brilliant NEETs, not in education, employment, or training, Hikikomori shunins, if you don't know what NEETs mean, gamers who have spawned urban legends all over the internet. These two gamers even consider Real World as just another crappy game. So it's about a bunch of NEETs and their rejection of the real world.
It's NEETs, they reject the real world, and some people invite them to become saviors of humanity by playing games in an alternate world. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
if I'm honest.
Sounds like sort of original Season 0 Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh
Where
my
they
god,
just
it
play
does! His
Isn't Season
hair.
0 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Really good?
It's incredible. It's so good.
It's so violent.
You need to watch it sometime. We're gonna watch it sometime, okay? We're gonna do
I really
Season
recommend
0
it.
marathon.
I mean, you haven't lived to see seen Kaiba with green hair.
That's true.
Screw the rules, I have green hair.
Dropping all them references.
Yeah, man.
So
I
the
mean-
reason that I was interested in this one is because of the studio, because I haven't picked up anything by Madhouse in a long time, I feel like. So I thought I would give this one a go, because it's
Yeah.
about games, and I have a podcast that's about games, so I obviously like them quite a bit.
Shout outs to Permadeath.
Nice segue.
Yeah, man. But Madhouse for me, I have a lot of faith in them because they really are able to produce, or rather they have done in the past with stuff like Monster and Hippo. But it's been a while since they've done something, for me at least, that I've seen really, really good. Because if we look at some of the stuff they've done recently, Mahou Senso is pretty average. They did Photo Kano last year. That was just awful. And then this seems like the one of theirs this season to look out for, as well as that Mahou Rensu Tato Potato.
Potato.
Mahou Koko no Retose, as I actually read it instead of trying to remember that name off the top of my head. These two series from them this season, I think, are going to be ones to look out for.
I think the
And
reason
this-
that I liked this one though, and I was like, yes, this one is the one, is because the picture is just really colourful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and though honestly, colourful like that, for some reason nowadays reminds me of Mega Nobu.
That's not a good thing, I don't think.
No.
I feel like
I'm
I've
sorry, the
seen-
guy,
yeah.
the upside down guy in the picture just looks like one of the characters from Mega Nobu, but without the glasses.
It seems-
So
Therefore
infinitely worse.
Yep.
It feels like I've seen both these characters before in different shows. Like they look
Yeah, that's
so
just-
familiar.
It's hard to be original with character designs these
Yeah.
days, though. Let's face it, everyone's going to remind you of someone. But I mean, another reason why to look out for this one is Yuki Hanada is a very competent writer,
Yeah.
having done Robo Notes and Princess Jellyfish and Steins Gate and stuff. And Atsuki Ishizuka, the only other thing I've seen of theirs on the directorial side is Sakura So. That was a great show. So it's got a competent technical side, which means that I think with this one, if the light novels were good, they will be adapted well.
That's the problem. Like, I've never heard of No Game, No Life
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so many new and fresh light novel writers come out, and sometimes you got cack like Sword Art and Excel World, and sometimes you got wonderful things like High Speed.
Yeah, I nearly
Yeah.
bought that the other day. Not gonna lie, I nearly bought High Speed the other day.
High Speed, for anyone who doesn't know, is the source material for a little show called Free Iwatobi Haru Club.
Wait. No, where's my camera? I've got my mug. Wait. There you go. I'm done now.
Be a nice video interlude. Now let's look into Ebby's mug.
I got a new mug. You'll see it in the video. But it's a free mug, and it's amazing.
Ah,
It's pretty wonderful.
still drinking out my
as was the
Oreo mug.
value of the customs fees you had to pay.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's move on.
Yes.
2. Black Bullet, which is one of the most hyped up things this season, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, like.
Would you
easily.
like to explain why, Alan? Because I know you have seen this, you've seen the show in question on the writer and director side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. In case you didn't know, that once upon a time, Tatsuhiko Urahata and Masayuki Kojima got together, and they had a baby based on a manga by Naoki Urasawa, and that show is called Monster.
Their
And that
baby is
show-
called Monster.
That baby is called Monster, and that baby is, if I were to have a baby, that's the baby I would want, because that's a really fucking good baby. Monster is. There are no words.
I
for
thought
how
the call
good-
dropped for a second there. I was like,
I was trying to think of a word to describe how good Monster is.
it's really good.
It's so good.
Trying to
And
think
for
about
them to
how good a
this
parent
is
you
the
will
first
be to
time
this
those
child.
two have worked together on something
Mhm.
since then. But so that's why I have faith in this thing. It's by Kinema Citrus, who notably did Tokyo Magnitude 8.0, and from what I can tell, nothing else particularly good that I've seen. Like they did
Tokyo
Code-
Magnitude 8.0 though
Hmm.
is incredible. It's so good.
Yeah, but they also did Codebreaker, which is more similar to this in genre and theme than Tokyo Magnitude, and Codebreaker was just unstoppably average.
Mm.
But then, and then I watched the PVs, and they were about a lolly shooting bugs.
I didn't think the PVs were
Yeah.
that bad. I thought the
It's
first PV
okay.
was better.
I think
Yeah,
they
the
could have
first
done
PV
more.
made it look a lot better, but they were like they just did like CGI insects, and I was like, this seems really kind of dull and normal. But I have faith in my boys Tatsuhiko Urahata and Masayuki Kojima.
Mhm.
So we'll see. But I'm very skeptical about this just because the PVs made it look really dull. Like, not dull, just kind of flat. Like, it's about a guy and a girl with guns shooting bugs. Which, as we've already said earlier in this particular video, that I like the idea of robots shooting bugs.
Not tiny little girls who like to eat sweets
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
just because,
No.
I don't know, it just seems that kind of premise could fall apart a lot easier, whereas like a mecha-based show, I'm not saying it would be better, I was just saying I enjoy it more just because I have a fondness of mecha generally, and I can just sit back and enjoy that. So I am really hoping this is going to be something as good as it seems like it could be. But I'm not going to go out on a limb and say this is the anime to watch this season.
No.
A lot of people are excited about it, though. I'm not. Is it just because of the writer and director?
I don't know. People were excited about it, even disregarding that. It's had a lot of hype. And I'm not even sure why.
It's got a cool name.
It's had a huge amount of hype. Yeah, it's got a cool name. It had a cool poster and logo and everything.
Yeah.
It was one of the earlier shows to be announced, so people have had time to get hype over it. But I mean, for me, it's all about it being linked to the people who made Monster. But for the most part, those two made what is, in my opinion, one of what I consider to be two perfect adaptations, being Monster and FMA Brotherhood. And the thing about it being a perfect adaptation is just that they perfectly were able to capture how incredible Naoki Urasawa's Monster was initially. So again, as with a lot of these shows, it's just down to how good the light novels were. Because if the light novels were good, then these are the two people you want to pick to adapt it. But if the light novels weren't that good, then they're not going to be able to make it better.
Okay, that's fair enough. We gotta move on though.
Yeah, we do.
The next
Aliens.
one. Alright, let me butcher this first. Here we go.
Okay.
Goku Koku no Brynhilda?
I thought it was Brynhilda.
That's about right.
Brynhilda.
Something.
Brynhilder.
Goku no Brynhilde. Something like that. Sounds a bit like that.
Okay, I don't know who put this on the list, but this is a show by Arms, which you can take one of two ways. They either did a lot of like near porn stuff, or they did Mahou Maoyusha.
Yeah. This is basically Arms is the next step in the right direction, from what I can tell, from how it sounds. Well, it's just basically like Arms. They've done nothing but like ecchi shit, and had this such a bad reputation. Then they released Mahou, and it was like, that's actually a really good show. Wow, good job, Arms. And then they kept on producing shit like Sekai de Ichiban, for example, aka.
You loved that show.
I'm not even going to joke about that, Abby. That's not true.
That's just your edge.
And then like this season airing now, we've got Wizard Barristers, which I also consider to be a step in the right direction for them because it's actually a fairly competent series, disregarding the fact that it looks like shit.
You know,
Like,
I was watching
design
last
is
season's
just
videos,
awful.
and you went, "This show looks like it's got really good design."
Yes, it's TV, and probably I was just making words up like I am now.
So don't listen to anything the BakaShift has to say ever again.
Hey, from the PV, Wizard Barristers looked really cool, and you couldn't tell how bad the character designs were in that PV.
Yeah, it does look real bad.
Yeah, but like everything else about Wizard Barristers is actually pretty decent. Like, I'm actually really enjoying that series. It's just the character designs are like hideous. Yeah. But I still consider it to be definitely a step in the right direction for Arms, and hopefully this carries on with that. Who actually put this on the list? Was it you, Pat?
I think it was me, because I quite liked that it was about a boy. I like reading the descriptions, and usually they sound stupid when I read them to myself, because it's about a boy who makes a promise with this girl, I think. And then she dies. That's not a spoiler, that's just in the description. She dies, and he wants to fulfill the promise of discovering aliens. And then from that, he meets an alien one day, and it looks exactly like the girl that he made the promise to that died.
Oh my god! Sorry, that sounds actually kind of cool.
It sounds interesting.
Like, I like things that sound absolutely ridiculous, but still I will enjoy them immensely, because it's just, it's a mystery.
And it definitely sounds like something outside of Arms' comfort zone.
I am very interested in the fact that the source material is the manga of said thing. Which was written by the person who did Elfin Lied.
Yeah, which is kind of a throwback. I haven't, because everyone's kind of forgotten about Elfin Lied these days. No. I need to rewatch Elfin Lied, you know. Because
Yeah.
that was literally, I think it was the first anime I ever watched, consciously knowing it was anime, disregarding like when I was younger, watching Cardcaptor Sakura and stuff like that. And I flipping loved Elfen Lied when I watched it as like a
sort of shat
14-year-old.
itself a bit towards the end, but it was a competent series. Did its job.
I just loved it. Like but if I watch it again now, I find it highly unlikely I'm gonna love it. But back
Why
then,
would you rewatch it? Just pretend that it's awesome.
because like I'd like to revisit some of those first shows I watched and be like, is that still good? Because most of the time, even if it isn't still good, I still enjoy it, just because I have this kind of fondness and warmth for it, in a way.
I just remember for a long time it was one of those go-to series where people are like, oh, anime is just for kids. It's Pokemon. And then people are like, well, Elfen Lied, and that was the answer
Yeah,
to
man.
That's true.
most.
Watch these pink chicks cut each other's arms off and then beat a dog to death.
Twist
They'd
heads
be
off.
naked in the first 2 seconds of the,
Yeah,
the
man.
show.
But anything else any of us cats want to say about Goku Goku no Brunhilde?
I will say that I'm surprised that it's like the manga was written by the same person who did Elfen Lied. The director is the same person who directed Katako Hitman Reborn. So I'm done. Next one. Oh, I'm introducing this, aren't I?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, it's your video, man.
I was just relaxing for a second there, just chilling out. So the next show is Mahou Shoujo Taisen by Gainax.
It's
It's a
Also
magical
known
girl
as-
show.
Potentially the last nail in Gainax's coffin.
This is true.
The last chance, one of the two. There's another show that they're doing this season, which is just like a slice of life series. But this seems like the more high profile of the two shows they're doing this season.
It's like
And
it's Hetalia
Gainax
for
need
Japan.
to
Just Japan.
yeah. Pretty much. But Gainax, I think, really need to make this work. Because if they don't, they're just going to die. Like, now all of their high-profile writers and directors have taken off to make Trigger. Gainax just... They haven't done anything in so long that's worthwhile. I mean, kind of like... They're still in the process of doing, like, the rebuild films, but those are kind of half-handled by someone else.
Yeah.
But they're still going to get the money from that. But Gainax haven't had a breakout hit in so long. And I feel like this is something more so than, like, shit like C3 Boo that they've done recently. And this has the potential to do that, even though it's being scripted and composed by the guy who did Sekai de Ichiban. So I'll disregard everything I just said, and I will be
Goodbye,
attending.
Gainax.
I will be attending Gainax's
It's
funeral.
going to be
But no-
bad. But I'm going to watch it anyway because
But
it
no,
looks interesting.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, it was created by like these guys in a reality TV show, and it's being launched as this mixed media project with like a Vita game and stuff. But if Gainax were in their prime, I'd flippin' love to see a Mahou Shoujo series by Gainax.
But they just aren't anymore.
Yeah, but I still feel like this could be. If it even shows anything of what Gainax once were in this series, I reckon a Mahou Shoujo series by Gainax could be something really cool. So I'm hoping, I really do, because I don't want Gainax to die. They've done so many great things in the past, and
I don't
whilst
think
many
I'd
of
be
us,
sad if they went away, which is strange because
well, it's
they've
just
done some
because
really good stuff
yeah,
before.
most of the notable people are
Doing
and
Trigger
now
stuff now.
now in Trigger, and then the only other person majorly linked with Gainax is Hideaki Anno. It doesn't matter who he's linked with; he's gonna keep making Ava until he dies.
That was the deal he made with the devil.
But we'll see. We don't know anything really about the story of Mahou Shoujo Taisen,
I'm just
other
going to
than
assume
like
it's a magical girl series.
yeah, it's just going to be a magical world
Yeah.
series with each character representing a town from Japan, like as opposed to representing this one's Nobunaga and this one's Date Masamune and this one's Sanada Yukimura. It's like, oh, this one's going to be a place in Japan.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Tokyo Tan.
By the way,
This
if me
is-
and Alan seem like obnoxiously tired and not really with it,
It's
it's
because we are.
20 to 8 in the morning. We've been awake since 5 at least, so
I had an hour and a half sleep last
I
night.
demanded that they be awake early to record
And
this.
Pat has had a full day's work.
and then he got his coffee and he was like, "This isn't what I want in my coffee," and like threw it on his personal assistant and flipped some tables as he left.
Yeah, man.
Clearly, you know my work
And
habits.
then Ebby was like, "This milk is rotten." What's with this white film on my tea?
And then it just started
I didn't
raining.
order this.
And speaking of rain, there's a girl who can summon rain in the next anime.
Pat,
Yeah.
you are godlike. How are you pulling these transitions out?
I was quickly reading the synopsis to try and figure out how I could figure raining into it.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the next one is Soredemo Sakaya Weapon.
Well done.
Or Still the World is Beautiful, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. This is another Pirate series.
Piero. Periot, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Guys
No
who
one has
made
pronounced it correctly ever, I'm
Shoujo
sure.
Cafe. Yay!
Tagami Baki.
And Tagami Bachi.
Tagami Baki.
Tagami
Tagami Tobacco.
And Tagami Bachi. And I love this studio for the stuff they've done. And they're making some sort of shoujo-esque adventure series, I think, is what it basically is. And I'm really excited about that.
It does
Yeah.
sound really good.
Not
It's
enough.
about the Rain Man.
But the thing is, it reminded me when I was reading the thing, sort of a little bit of Fushigi Yugi, and then I looked at the director.
Yeah.
He directed the series of Fushigi Yugi, which I never saw, so it could have been horrible. But I really loved the manga.
Yeah.
I have heard the series of Fushigi Yugi was not great.
Ooh.
I'm okay with it being a shoujo adventure.
That's based on a very, very old opinion though.
Yeah.
That I heard like years and years ago.
But the thing is, there are not a ton of shoujo adventure shows.
Exactly. I am
They're
happy
always
with more.
shoujo romance or reverse harems or, you know, there'll probably like be romance elements in this, to be
Yeah.
honest. But I like the fact that it's not the main focus.
Yeah. Well, the last romance adventure we're all familiar with is Pilot's Love Song from this season.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, but
pretty good.
everyone disregards that because apparently it went really crap towards its finale.
That's what I've been hearing
Yeah.
over Twitter.
I haven't watched it in a few episodes, so I can't confirm or deny that.
But I wouldn't have said that was a shoujo, to be honest.
It wasn't a shoujo, but it was still a romance adventure.
Yeah.
So it's comparable in a way, but this seems like it's going to be really good. Sounds really interesting. Sounds like a really refreshing story.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like anything. I can't compare it to anything for like frame of reference, really, even though I just did.
I'm really excited about it because shoujo is one of those things I'll go back to and I'll feel really nostalgic even if I haven't seen it. So I'll be like, man, I would have loved this when I was 14. I would have eaten this up. It would have been great. And I do it in a sort of, I still like them, but in a sort of nostalgia-ish way,
Yeah.
I suppose. But yeah, I'm excited for this. This came really late as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it looked like the list was going to be like sort of finalized and stuff, and then this came along, and I was like,
Boom.
I'm excited. I'm also excited for the next show on the list if we're ready to move on,
Yes.
I'd say we are.
which is Kamigami no Asobi, which is a brains-based show. Wait for it. Based on a PSP visual novel by Broccoli, Utapri, and it's it's got the same writer as Utapri, which is wicked, and it's a reverse harem with gods from mythology,
Yes.
because
Zeus.
it's got Hades in it and Zeus in it. It's gonna be wicked. I can't wait.
So think Usano Prince Sama. Remove music. Insert God of War. There is your premise.
And how good does that sound?
Wonderful.
Exactly.
Pretty fucking good. The only problem is it's a reverse harem by Brainspace.
Right, okay, so
They-
Brainspace haven't had the best track record when it comes to reverse harems.
Not
Like
many
Amnesia,
people have.
for example. Who did Utapri? A1 Pictures,
Yeah, I think it was A1 Pictures, yeah.
They did a fantastic job with Utano Prince Summer. And I really want this to be as good. I want because we don't get season 3 of Utano Prince Summer until next year.
Yeah.
And I really, really want something to fill the void in my heart that my pretty boys have left. And I want this to be it. Because it's got Hades in it, and that's awesome.
I think, without a doubt, even if this is utter garbage, which I don't think it will be, because Tomoko Komparu is an incredibly good writer. She's got so much brilliance under her belt.
Oh my god,
and,
I just saw what was in there.
She did Nana, Kimi ni Todoke, and Adame Cantabile. You just looked at Utapri and ignored everything else. Tomoko Kompari is an incredibly talented writer.
Utapri was at the end for a start, so it just popped out, and also more relevant than Nana and Kimi ni Todoke. So
Yeah.
Justified.
But either way, like I feel like even if this is atrocious, it's going to be entertaining because as much as we roast on Amnesia, that show was fun. Like I enjoyed that series just because it was so. You could just scream at it and get angry at how horrible it was, but in an entertaining way.
Yeah. Amnesia was
It's
so
just
fun
like,
to hate.
what are you doing? Why are you locking her in a cage? Why are you fine with this? Why are you wearing that? It's just like. It's like getting hype in reverse.
Yeah.
If I'm audibly expressing any kind of opinion at the television whilst no one else is in the room, I feel that the show has succeeded on some level. And even like...
But I don't want it to be an Amnesia. I don't want to be going, why aren't you going with Hades, you silly bin? Like, I want it to be Utapri. Real bad. And I know it's probably not going to be, but I really do.
Well, if that's not Utapri, then the next show will be.
Which is... that was a
Kiniro
good segue.
No Quarter, Blue Sky. And there's a musical tune, so I think you have to say it. Blue Sky.
Blue sky.
and we know how much Evie likes shows that have music notes in the title.
Like, do you know Prince Summer? I have less hope for this one. The only reason I'm watching it is because it's like, oh look, pretty boys.
Yeah, I've got I haven't really got any expectations for this simply because everyone working on it has done essentially nothing. Apart from the director did Detective Conan.
I've got like a little list, just for reference, that says the director, the writer, the studio, and whatever. And the only thing that has brackets next to it is the director who did Case Closed, and probably only about 2 episodes of it.
Yeah, because Case Closed was like a stupendously long series. But the funny thing about this is Kiniro no Quarter is like this obscenely large string of Otome games on PS2. There's like 10 of them, I think.
And he made PS2 that can play them games right now.
Yeah, man. And it had a show in 2006, which was apparently really good.
Ooh.
I've never heard of it.
No, I'd never heard of it either until I looked it up. But I looked at some reviews. Spoke to Sarah from 42 Believer.
Ooh, shout out.
She says she's seen it. She says it's really good. Okay. And hopefully this will be too. Honestly, you should probably check out the first season.
I didn't know that was the first season, but now I probably will.
And there's also like an OVA as well. So I think it's quite strange that like 8 years later they've now decided to make another one. But I guess seeing as the games are still popular, could carry on. But like reverse harm about music.
Like,
there's another reverse harm about music that Ebby is
it'll never work.
In case you didn't know.
Wait.
You whipping out the bishies. You're doing it.
Alright, what's the theme song? Doki doki.
Doki doki.
7% off. Hey, right. I've had my moment.
I did the hand signs, Evie. Are you proud of me?
I was waving my fingers around, so you did way better than me.
I missed out entirely. Next time.
7% off.
And the next show is gonna have to wait till tomorrow. Whoa!
Okay, I guess I'll stop playing with my figures.
Come back to the camera, Abby.
Okay, so thank you for watching this part of the video. You can check out part 1 over on BakaShift's channel, which is already up. And you can check out part 3 on Pat's channel, which if you're watching this as it goes up on the day, it's not up until tomorrow, but it will be up there very soon. So go over there and subscribe, and you'll get a notification about when that is.
Yeah.
Hey. But I think that's everything. So thank you for doing this again.
No problem.
Guys.
No problem. It has been
Anytime.
a pleasure.
Guys.
It has been a pleasure.
We will see you tomorrow, and we'll see you again next season.
Yeah, we will.
Bye.
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 Fishies.